thought, what if the greatest strength comes from choosing to be weak? Today, we're exploring how true unity emerges from genuine humility.
That's such a counterintuitive concept in today's world of self-promotion and personal branding, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we're going to unpack why humility might be the missing piece in our divided world. By the end of this episode, you'll understand the transformative power of choosing humility over pride.
You know, it's fascinating. Recent psychological studies have shown that humble individuals actually experience lower anxiety and higher emotional resilience.
Wait, really? So humility isn't just a moral virtue, it has measurable psychological benefits?
Exactly. Research shows that humility reduces depression by shifting attention away from self-focused rumination toward gratitude and connection.
That's fascinating. But let's dig deeper into what true humility actually looks like.
Well, there's this powerful text in Philippians that talks about having the same mind as Christ, who, despite being equal with God, chose to empty himself and become a servant.
That's quite a contrast to how we usually think about power and status.
Right. And here's what's really interesting. This kind of humility isn't about thinking less of yourself, it's about thinking of yourself less.
Can you break that down a bit more?
Sure. Think about it this way. Pride always leads to division. We see this pattern throughout history, starting with the very first instance of pride in the biblical narrative.
You're talking about Lucifer's rebellion?
Exactly. According to Isaiah 14, Lucifer said, "I will ascend. I will exalt my throne. I will be like the Most High."
That's a lot of I will statements.
And each one represented a step away from unity and toward division. This same pattern repeats in human relationships.
So how does this connect to modern life?
Well, think about what happens in any group, whether it's a family, workplace, or community, when someone puts their own ambitions above everything else.
It creates tension, conflict.
Right. The Bible calls this selfish ambition, in Greek, erythia, and lists it as one of the primary sources of division.
But here's what I find interesting. There seems to be different types of unity. Not all unity is created equal, right?
That's a crucial point. There's a fascinating quote about Satan's kingdom being united, but united in rebellion and fear, not love.
So there's a false unity that comes through control and domination?
Exactly. It's unity through conformity rather than unity through mutual submission and respect.
Let's talk about the alternative. What does true unity look like?
It starts with what the Bible calls a transformation of both heart and mind. The heart represents our desires and motivations.
And the mind?
The mind is about our choices, our habits, our way of thinking. Both need to be aligned with humility for true unity to emerge.
You know what this reminds me of? That ancient story about the bronze serpent?
From Numbers 21. That's actually a powerful metaphor for this very concept.
Can you explain the connection?
The Israelites were being bitten by serpents, a consequence of their pride and complaints. The cure? They had to look up at a bronze serpent on a pole.
That seems counterintuitive.
Exactly. They had to humble themselves to acknowledge both their condition and their need for help.
So the very act of looking up was an act of humility?
Yes, and this points to something deeper about human nature. We're designed for connection, for relationship.
But pride gets in the way of that connection?
Precisely. Pride isolates us, while humility creates the space for genuine relationship.
Let's talk about practical application. How do we cultivate this kind of humility in our daily lives?
Well, there are 3 key practices: holy speech, holy listening, and holy transparency.
Can you break those down?
Holy speech means speaking truth in love, without manipulation or hidden agendas.
And holy listening?
That's about truly hearing others, not just waiting for your turn to speak. It means setting aside your own assumptions and really trying to understand.
That's harder than it sounds.
It is. And then holy transparency is about being honest about our own struggles and limitations.
You know what's fascinating? These principles seem to work whether or not someone holds religious beliefs.
Absolutely. Remember those psychological studies we mentioned earlier? They show these principles align with how humans are designed to flourish.
So in a way, humility is just being honest about who we really are?
Yes, and it's about recognizing our interconnectedness. No one is truly self-made.
That's quite different from what our culture often promotes.
And that's exactly why it's so powerful. It's countercultural in the best possible way.
Let's talk about the impact. What happens in a community when people start practicing these principles?
Research shows that groups characterized by humility experience less conflict, better communication, and more innovation.
More innovation? That's surprising.
Think about it. When people feel safe to share ideas without fear of judgment, creativity flourishes.
And I imagine trust builds more quickly too?
Exactly. Humility creates an environment where people can be vulnerable, and vulnerability is the foundation of trust.
So what's the first step for someone wanting to cultivate more humility?
Start with listening, really listening, not planning your response, not judging, just truly hearing another person.
That sounds simple but profound.
And that's the beauty of humility. It's not complicated, but it is transformative.
As we wrap up, what's the key message you want listeners to take away?
That true unity isn't about enforced agreement. It's about creating space for authentic connection through genuine humility.
And it starts with each individual choice to listen, to serve, to put others first.
Exactly. Every time we choose humility over pride, we're creating a little more unity in our world.
Thank you for joining us on Copilot Podcasts. Remember, sometimes the path to strength leads through weakness, and the road to unity runs through humility.